Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Overwatch Coach, and today we've got a Silver 2 Ana player on Midtown. So we haven't done Midtown yet. So let's get right into it. So let's actually wait, we gotta see what we actually have for a team comp here.
Stay sharp. It's harder to keep you alive when you're distracted.
Okay. So assuming there's no swaps, this is what we're running with. We've got a Zen, a Sojourn, a Zarya, a Widow, and then the Ana. So in terms of nano targets, I would probably say you've got Zarya. Zarya is pretty OP at the moment. Aside from that, I'm not seeing anything super great to be nanoing here. Maybe Sojourn, that's about it. So Zarya is who I'm looking for, and I mean obviously there might be swaps too, but as it is right now, I'm hoping you're going to be nanoing the Zarya. Other than that, you should be playing back with your Widow and your Sojourn and your Zen. This is going to be a hard one to push with. You guys are going to have to get a lot of far distance picks, and you're going to be going up against a Rhine shield. Granted, you don't know that yet, but this will be interesting to see how that Rhine shield holds up. Wait, what is happening here? What is going on here? What does this Torp think he's doing? He can't even. Alright, that's interesting. I mean, you did nothing wrong there, but I don't know what that was. Clearly, nobody on the enemy team knows what they're doing, because why are they up this far? They should not be up this far. This is not where you should be defending at. Alright, so, okay, I see your first mistake. So all this is fine. Okay, right here.
I see you.
You're in your mind. You're getting ready to throw out your nade. There's nothing to nade here. Nothing to be nading. Nothing to be nading. Your team's fine. Don't nade this. You got your Zen. You're fine. You're on a full clip there. Don't nade that. Your grenades. Ana nades should be used to anti the enemy team. Number one. That's your number one priority with the grenade. Number two is to bail out an ally when they're low and you're either having trouble hitting them, or if say your Zen is healing them but you're about to run out of ammo, and then you nading them gives the Zen some bonus healing towards whoever he's orbing. You know, that sort of a thing is fine in an emergency situation. But in this case, they're down a guy. The Zen's right in front of you. You've got a full clip. You can get that Zarya full health easily. The Zen can help. There's nothing to nade here. Look at when the Rhine drops the shield, throwing your nade out and anti-healing. That should be your number one priority here.
I've seen worse. You're going to live. Such naivety.
Now, this wasn't stated in the post that I'm aware of. I don't know if this is on a console or PC, but it looks like you're playing on a controller. If you're playing on PC, and I don't know that you are, but if you are, don't play on a controller. If it's a console, then forget what I'm saying on this, but
I've got you.
yeah, so again with the grenade, that Sojourn was not in any kind of... I get that they were low, but no one's shooting at them. You don't need to throw out your grenade. Look to anti-heal the enemy. Because I haven't seen you do that once yet. Granted, you won the fight, but right here you should be looking at anti-healing. And you still can. I mean, by the time the fight opened up, like, throwing your nade... Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Throwing your nade out here. Now, I'm not saying throw it out right this second, but throwing your nade out there, or either going here or around and looking for avenues to get your grenade off could be huge, because once you anti somebody, you call that out and your team should hopefully dive on the target. Now, you could anti that Genji, just don't throw it directly into him. Otherwise, you're going to anti yourself because he's deflecting. But if you throw it, just for the sake of the Genji, because he's right in your line of sight, but if you throw it like right in here, you'll get him. The splash will get him. But if you throw it right on him, it's going to fall back right back on you. So you got to be careful on that one. So if you're feeling comfortable enough to land the splash damage, you could get the Genji and then call that out. And then the Zarya could go finish him off. Nope. Oh, I think you actually anti'd somebody inadvertently. Yeah, same thing with the nade again. I don't think they were under any real threat of dying. They were so far back. That Rhine was a little too far up, so you guys punished them. Now your job here, stay on the cart, keep it moving. So this goes into something I said. Well, all right, actually no, it doesn't. What I was about to say, at first I was about to say the Zen needed the ult charge, but he's got his ult too, so at this point anybody can heal. But if the Zen didn't have his ult and you had yours, give it to the Zen to heal, but forget it. You both have it, just heal it. I would like to see you maybe on the cart, but yeah, because the Zen just died, so I don't think anybody's pushing, or is a Zarya on it? Zarya's on it, but nobody's healing Zarya. So, alright, let's talk about this for a second. So, how do I can't control it. Alright. So this position will work. You guys are getting really split up here. So the one thing I would say is the route you took. I have to think about this a little bit. So the fact that I actually have to think about it, it's not too much of a fault, but it's something to think about for the next time you play on this map. Maybe actually going up around up here and then kind of keeping a spot right here would have been a little bit more beneficial. Because then at that point you can heal your 2 DPS, but then when things get froggy down there, you could jump down and protect that too. It's a little surprising the Zen died, and I'm actually a little curious what killed him, because I didn't really pay any attention to that. Oh, so Moira's just dive bombing in to kill your Zen. That's interesting. That's kind of a silver thing to do, but it ended up working out a little bit. Zarya, for whatever reason, couldn't protect him. So, all right, the other thing I wanted to cover, and this is more of a positioning thing. So the fact that you took that high ground wasn't necessarily bad, but the fact that you're now dropping down, that's bad. You shouldn't drop down to that. You're a sniper. You don't have to frontline. You could just play right up here. And then, because the Zarya is backing up, you're going to have a nice line of sight to just shoot down at the Zarya, and you would be relatively out of harm's way. And even if they start trying to shoot at you, now they've got the Zarya shooting at them, so they can't shoot at you really, as long as you're keeping the Zarya full health or close to it. And even if they do start trying to shoot at you, all you got to do at that point is just back up, and then they'll have to go back to dealing with the Zarya. When they do that, you just come back to here and you heal her back up again, and they can't do anything and you'll win. But instead, what you're going to do is you drop down Put yourself right into the front line. You're front lining in front of Zarya. Now, if Zarya has bubble, she could bubble you, but I mean, that's not something you should be expecting to happen. It's just if they have it, they can do it. And you're dead. Now, granted, they just bubble right there. Now, I'm just out of curiosity. Okay, they do have the bubble, so I'm not really sure why they don't use it to protect you here. That would have been the right play. But with that said, you shouldn't have been there anyway. Because what you could have done is you could have actually anti'd the Sombra, and that would have been an easy kill.
This is not the end.
And then yeah, so then the Zarya's got a double team to contend with. Can't shoot at the Sombra because the Moira will heal.
Let's move this payload.
Killing a Moira with... I mean, they had the charge to do it, but they needed the healing, so yeah. Alright, let's see how you do here now. So the one good thing that we saw from a previous video going into this one, you guys are grouping up and it looks like you're going to go in as a team. That's a good thing.
We can't move until the payload moves.
So right now, you've got your nano. Who are we looking to nano? Do not nano Junkrat, in my opinion. That wouldn't be a very good nano target. You could maybe nano Sojourn if you feel like they're going to pop off with their ultimate. Otherwise, I'm still sticking to Zarya. However, there's a caveat to that. Wait until they've got good charge from using their bubbles before you do it. If you nano a low charge Zarya, they're not going to be able to do much with it, especially when there's a Reinhardt who's going to have full shield. Like, they're really just not going to be able to do much with it. So that's where I'm going to be looking at here. You should be looking to nano, but when and how you use it is going to be key. Like, the other thing is if you go down to about the taxi hood, you can throw your grenade above that Reinhardt shield and you can anti a bunch of people. And that would enable the Junkrat to get a pick. They might still be able to get a pick regardless, but it would be easier. Okay, so you're trying to melt the Reinhardt shield. I'm okay with that. This isn't that good of a... Well... The grab seems early. So, alright, yeah, that grab was early. They could have comboed that very easily with a Junkrat tire if they just wait another 10 seconds. Because the Alright, so this is a little off topic of Anno, but if Zarya grabs right here 10 seconds later, assuming everybody's still kind of battling over there, she grabs, gets 2-3 people in, Junkrat tires right down on top of it, you get a team wipe or pretty close to it. Just saying. Okay, so you've got an opportunity to make a play here. Right here, you could be sleeping the Reinhardt. You haven't really... I don't even think you've really shot your sleep dart yet, I don't think. If you have, I haven't noticed it. But right here, this is an easy sleep. Reinhardt's a giant target. He's got his back to you. That should be... Oh, I can sleep him. And then you save whoever he is... You save your Zarya from whatever is about to happen. If the Reinhardt can even do anything. He's kind of low, but you could still sleep him. Okay, so the fact that you guys didn't melt that Rein is a little alarming. I actually kind of didn't think the Rein would be able to do anything there, but yeah, sleeping that Rein would have been huge, or at least shooting at him because he's low. Like, you could have taken him out.
Just try to stop me. Tranquility. I have you. Keep fighting.
The other thing too that I would say, you could have nanoed the Zarya just to save her.
You're powered down. Get
She died. So you could have nanoed the Zarya just to keep her alive. Let's see, does Sojourn do anything with your nano?
I have you. Keep fighting.
I'm actually not sure why she didn't try, why the Sojourn didn't ult with your nano. Probably would have been a better play, maybe. I don't know. It's maybe not actually. I take that back. Okay, so right there, I'm not really sure why you're moving in. What I would have done if I were you. So first of all, if you're gonna go in and go here, you had a good grenade opportunity to anti a bunch of people. That's number one. But number two, you shouldn't be frontlining in this situation. It's too chaotic and there's nobody to really be taking nobody to save you really. Zen's not going to be able to out heal that. So I don't really like you being under here though. So going over here would probably be a good play, or trying to come up around here and taking that high ground and then just kind of backing into that spot and then, you know, healing in the short term while you're getting there would have been a little bit more advantageous. Otherwise, once Zarya died and you nanoed, I didn't go back far enough. I want to go to where you nano. Okay, so right here, what I think I would have done if I were you is gone right up here. That would have taken you right to the spot I just got done talking about, and then you would have been right over there. Now, because everybody's attention is going right there, so you might have to kind of peek and do a little ducking and dodging, perhaps. But you probably get a good chance to do an anti-nade from over there too. And then if all the attention just comes on you, then you would just be retreating right back down to here, and you just find yourself right back in the same spot you were at before. But I think you would have had a better opportunity to make a play if you would have went to the right and up that tunnel. Just for... I can't control anything here. Need to figure this out. But just out of curiosity. So you've got... Yeah, you got Sombra, and you'd have been able to shoot down on the Moira. I guess there's really not as much over there as I would have expected, but still. Anyway. Okay.
Just try to stop me.
Let's skip ahead to where we were at.
Keep fighting. Come on, let's move this payload.
Okay. So right here, again, the fact that you're over here, I'm not really liking it, but your grenade should have been just ready to go. You could have blocked the hack too by landing that. And then if you land it in a good spot, like say kind of like on the windshield top of the roof, you would have gotten Sojourn and you would have gotten Sombra. I don't think you would have gotten Lucio though, but yeah, that sleep was way off. I'm not great at landing sleeps either though, so I'm not too faulting of that, but yeah, that, I mean, you had the right idea, but that was poor execution of the nade. And it was delayed. Like that should have been your first reaction being over here. But right now you're frontlining. You need to get back because you're not far from the enemy spawn. And as you can see, the Rhine's almost back. You're in a bad spot here. You need to be backing up or at least getting to a spot where you can start healing your team because you're not even healing right now. You know, now you find yourself in the chaos. I can just tell you're kind of frazzled. Okay, you're backing up. Yeah. Sojourn didn't get... Okay, good sleep there. Okay. Wow, she didn't die? What the heck? I don't know what happened there, but... You had the right idea, though, on not waking Moira up and all that, but it's just poor execution on the Zen's part. Zen's got to land that as a headshot. He's got to get, if he wasn't in a good position to get the headshot, get in the good position to land the headshot. But right now, I like the spot you're in now for the most part. I mean, this spot here is not terrible. However, you should have been there way earlier. That's the only problem I have with where you're at now. You should have been there sooner. And that Moira should not have been alive either. That sleep should have killed the Moira with the execution of the Zen, but you know, that's a different story. So going into this now, yeah, don't go in now. Wait for your team to respawn. Soldier got out, so top her off. This is not something you should be looking to do right now. You as an Ana don't peek, because if you get picked, the whole team's gotta wait. Wait for your tank.
It's go time.
You see, you guys are going in too soon. This is a premature ult. I mean, at this point, you just gotta go with it, but you know, make sure that soldier does not die. But this should be a poor ultimate, but because it's a lower rank, she's picking people off that are probably overextended. So I mean, hey, if she saw something maybe that I'm not seeing at the moment, you know, kudos to her. I'm okay with that grenade under the circumstances. Good shot to just help pick off the enemy soldier and get your Zen topped off and healed up, push the cart. Shoot at the Rhine, shield a little bit. Reload. I'd be reloading here. Yep, okay. Okay, that should be a grenade opportunity and a get out. Yeah, let's rewind this just a little bit. This is really aggressive. Okay, so I'd be looking for you to just stay with the cart here, but the fact that you're going to the right, I wouldn't have gone past the Junkrat personally, outside of maybe doing a quick peek and throwing the nade, which you kind of do. I mean, you're really delayed on it. Like, let's watch this one more time. Okay, right here. Throw the nade and get out. That's what I would have done. Throw the nade and get out, maybe even asleep, but that's it. But you keep going in. I don't know why you do that. You get the nade off and you're going to hit the same targets you would have hit had you have done it the way I say. But right now you're in harm's way. You're the front line right now and everybody's scrambling to save you. And same with the soldier. And like, both of you are overextended right now. Now it's a good sleep and it prolongs the inevitable. But and I don't know why they wake him up right away. That's not good either. Like, the sleep could have kind of reorganized this whole situation, but they just woke him up right away. So now you're like point blank with the Reinhardt. That's a place you do not ever want to be as an Ana if you can help it, and you could have helped it here. So the Nano's okay in this circumstance. The trance is also okay, so it worked out, but that could have went a lot cleaner, I guess, is where I'm gonna make my point at on that one. It could have went a lot cleaner, but it worked out.
Keep fighting.
So right here, I would say get your scope up and look at seeing if you could land a couple DPS shots before you even start thinking about healing. The soldier needs to be topped off, but the Zen can do that. You've got, what is that, Moira? Yeah, you got Moira in your line of sight. Landing a shot on her while Junkrat and Soldier are shooting at her could potentially kill her. If you throw a grenade about right here, you might get an anti off on potentially 3 people, but I don't think you know that these 2 are here yet, but you could get it on the Rhine, which would be huge in its own right. Okay, good. So, okay. Yeah, you're not in a good spot to really be healing, and the Zen should be able to do that. So don't be too concerned about that. Trust your teammates to do some of the work. Don't feel like you got to do everything. And if you see something like this, shout it out in the comms. Zen, heal the soldier behind you. And then you can heal the Junkrat and the Zarya in the front line. Because you should be able to see that. And you might have to pop down to do it, but...
Taking care of you. Ladies and gentlemen, controlling someone needs this.
Yeah, because of the unorganization, you had to throw your nade where you probably didn't have to, and then on top of that, the Zarya died. So... Again, I would have called for the Zen to heal the Sojourn, and then you doing exactly what you're doing right now to heal the Zarya and then the Junkrat. That's what should have happened there. But you've kind of felt like you had to do everything. Trust your teammates to do something and make the call out if you have to. I don't know if I would have jumped down necessarily, but if you do... where I would be looking for you to go is either somewhere in here or somewhere back here. That's where I'd be looking for. And let's see what you do.
60 seconds remaining. The payload is approaching its destination.
No, I don't like this spot at all because the second they go on the right-hand side of the cart, you can't see them at all. And then on top of that, you've got this little wall here to deal with. This is not good positioning, but it doesn't matter. But if it did matter, that this is not where you should be.
Score 0.
So positioning, you know, you should have been behind so you could heal both sides of the cart.
Initiating match. Ready. Red 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, let's see. So who should you be? Okay, same situation again. It looks like everybody's kind of just locked into the same heroes for the most part. Zarya is going to be your nano target or Sojourn. Anything else would have to be an emergency nano, like maybe to a Zen or something. But for the most part, Zarya or Sojourn is who you should be nanoing here. All right, let's see how this all plays out.
Defend objective A.
You're gonna have a Pharah to contend with, and nobody obvious to shoot the Pharah outside of Widow. So make sure you're really supporting your Widowmaker here. Once you make the realization, I like the anti there, and that's a good anti because you also heal your Zarya a bit. So top off your Widow first. Okay, so if that's not good, you got to be able to get a point blank shot on your Widow right away. On top of that, there's a health pack there, so you land one shot on the Widow and then you focus on the Zarya because you saw the health pack. So let them get the health pack to finish topping them off because the one shot wouldn't have totally healed them. But you got to also kind of worry about your Zarya here. So that's what I would have done. But once you miss 2 shots on the Widow, that's not good. If you got a scope to get the shot to land, because sometimes just doing a quick scope shot, do it. You know, just quick scope in, get the shot off, scope out, and then refocus on the Zarya. Maybe that would have been more beneficial. I don't know, but one of those two, you needed to land that shot. That's kind of not great. But if you feel like the Zarya is already dead. Wow, what took the Zarya out? I want to actually. Wait, really? Hold on. I want to just watch this from the Zarya's point of view once. Something else had to hit her. Okay. So yeah, like I said, one shot on the Widow and that Zarya needed help. So now you're down a tank. The Widowmaker's low because you missed 2 shots. You got to get out now and hope that the Sojourn can get a pick with the railgun, or the Zen can get a right click off, and even out this fight a little bit and make them think twice about pushing in. But you got to get out immediately. All of you do. Oh, okay. So the Zen did get a pick, and that's a pretty big one. That will make them think twice about pushing in, because now it's even. Although the Zen is dead, so now it's back in their favor. So you're looking to DPS right here, and then you, on top of that, you missed your nade. Don't look to DPS necessarily from the get-go. Be looking to heal because your Sojourn is taking damage. Sojourn is broken. Do everything you can to make that Sojourn the best Sojourn they can be. I advocate, if you have a Sojourn on your team, play Mercy and pocket them. Even if they're not a good Sojourn, they're such a broken character that the pocket can just make them do crazy things. But yeah, you're just missing your shots right now. So I'll say one thing. If you're playing on a controller and this is a console, I would up the sensitivity. And if you're playing on the computer, start playing with your mouse and make sure your sensitivity is a little bit quicker than what you're getting currently. Because the time it's taking you to get your crosshair where it needs to be, this game's too fast paced for you to be diddling around to get your crosshair where you need it to be. It's not working out. The sensitivity's got to go up, and you got to be a little quicker with the aim. I do like this grenade though. This is a good anti, but I don't think you're going to get a lot of value off of it, just because I think most of your team's dead or backed off. Good sleep. That's a really good sleep. You two should not be waking that Rhine up though. The Widow should be focused on the point, and so should you. You guys should be you guys right now should be escaping where that Rhine is, making space so when he wakes up, he's not near you two. Where I would advocate going is probably back to where your spawn is. If you think your team's about to come back to contest, you could go off to the, off down here. But your Zarya is dead. I'm not really sure where your Soldier and Zen are at the moment, but if they're about to contest, go that way. If not, go back to your spawn. Waking this Rhine up is going to be a disaster for you both, or it should be. Please don't wake him up. I woke him up. So the one good thing that I do like here is that you took the other side, so it makes the Rhine have to make a decision, but the Moira is helping him out, and the Moira is going to get you, I think. Oh, the Widow got him. Okay. All right. And the Rhine gave up. Interesting. All right. Well, all right. That was a good IQ play for you to go one side and the Widow to go the other. I like that. That was quick thinking. However, they got the point, and now you're behind enemy lines, and this is really bad here.
Healing you.
Yeah, it's probably best just to die to get back to your team. You maybe could have gotten a pick along the way if your aim were a little bit better on the Pharah, because the Pharah is not being pocketed by anybody. Like, Pharah, like, here's the one thing I'm going to say. If you go Pharah and you have a Lucio and a Moira as your healers, you are not going to get much of any healing. So if you're, in your case, if you're Anna, and you can land your shots on the Pharah, you could pick her off yourself and your team doesn't even need to go hit scan. But from what I'm seeing, your aim's not going to be good enough to do it. So had you have stayed up here,
Sojourn en route.
okay, so had you have stayed up there and you could have slept the Sojourn, honestly. So say, for example, if you're a little quicker with the sleep and you sleep the Sojourn, the Widow could have got a headshot on her and picked her off. And then you both have high ground. You shoot the Pharah down. Suddenly, it's a 3v2 and your team's coming back. Because now what you're about to do is you're about to go in and die, stagger yourself. The Widow's probably going to do the same thing. And now it's going to be a 3v5 and it's just going to, you're basically giving them half of the second point for free at this point. But you guys could have made this play, but the thing is I don't know if you're mechanically able to make the play on the Pharah. So that's something to work on if you're determined to play Ana in ranked. You're going to have to mechanically be able to make that kind of a shot. And if you don't feel like you're going to be able to do that, Ana might not be the hero for you, in all honesty. But in a circumstance like this Pharah is not going to get healed. And then on top of that, there's not going to be a healing orb coming her way either. So you would have been able to land a couple shots on her, plus you had the Widow to back you up. You could have killed her. And that grenade here, that could have just been used to heal you.
Sojourn en route. No one can hide from my sight.
Yeah, I don't know why the Widow is ulting here. This is kind of a... That's just... Unless she's gonna swap, that's just pointless.
One of these days I'll end up in Fiji.
Alright, so you're getting back to your team. Everybody's back. Oh boy. So yeah, the Zarya was in full retreat, partly because of you and the Widow being behind enemy lines so long. And then just this whole thing is just turning into a massive collapse. Part of when you watch like Overwatch League, or even if you watch higher tier games, you don't want to stay alive too long, and this is why, because everything is just collapsing around you now, and a big part of that is because you weren't with your team when most of them died and respawned, and you guys aren't going to get a full team fight until probably when the cart's basically where you're at, if even then. Because you just came out of spawn. Okay, well, that was a good sleep. Unfortunately, they got woken right up. However, he's got a Discord orb, so he should die here. Okay, good nade. But you're still dead, and the cart's still gonna move. So hopefully, by the time the cart gets to basically where the Rhine died, hopefully you guys get a full team fight, and maybe you can salvage this.
This is not the end.
But I'm not sure that that's gonna happen. Because now the Moira is ulting. Yeah, you guys are just in full retreat. And so look at that. They got the second point completely for free because you and the Widow staggered. You couldn't make a play because of... You know, like if you're going to stagger and you're capable mechanically of making a play off of it, you could maybe make it work, especially in a lower rank. Higher rank, probably not as easily. But because the mechanics aren't there either, that whole second point was just a complete failure. And a big part of that was because you and the Widow just didn't die or get out when the rest of your team died. And now you've given them a whole point for free. So now you've already got 2 of your teammates dead. There's nothing to really be okay, so like the Widow contesting up here is okay. You being up here is okay. That's pretty safe for the most part. Outside of Farah and Soldier and maybe getting a shot off at you, but you know, if you can get a pick up here, fine. Yeah.
I've got you.
Yeah, you guys got to get a full retreat. Full retreat here. This right here is turning into the same thing again.
Keep them in.
Okay, in a situation like this where you guys are kind of trapped up here, you need to be in full heal mode, keeping these two alive until the rest of your team gets to you. So again, this isn't a full team fight again.
You're powered up. Get in there. That must sting.
So right there, probably nanoing the Sojourn would have been the better play, just so that she doesn't die right away.
Next time, say please.
Otherwise, I don't mind Zarya getting it, but it was a circumstantial thing that maybe says give it to the Sojourn just to save them.
Hello.
So you know the crazy thing is, this is going to be your guys' first complete team fight since they've gotten the cart, and look how far they've gotten it.
I greet you.
Hello.
Greetings.
And that's assuming that Bastion doesn't get picked off first.
Stand up straight.
So okay, that should have been on the... all right, here's a little rule of thumb. If you're playing Zenyatta, the healing orb should be on your DPS, so that... Because for an Ana, it's obviously going to be harder to hit the skinnier targets, which are in this case is the Sojourn. So the Zen should keep the healing orb on the Sojourn at all times. And this also goes back to the thing I said before about enabling your Sojourn to be the best that they can be. That goes with it too, but that was on the Zen more than it was on you. However, your mechanics of struggling to hit the Sojourn also falls on you a little bit, but that really was more on the Zen. I don't even know if does he even have the healing orb out, or is it just on... Yeah, oh boy. He didn't even have his healing orb on anybody. That's really poor play. So you guys like barely had a team fight here. I mean, it was technically a full team fight, but it barely was. I mean, that's crazy to me that you guys basically went 2/3 of the game without getting a team fight. That should be a huge focal point for anybody in a lower rank. You're stuck on the wall. Yeah, okay.
Experience tranquility.
Okay, so the second the Zen trances, I'm not really sure why he's trancing here though. That's kind of a poor trance. But the second the Zen trances, look to start DPSing, because now you're just not healing anything. You're just wasting ammo.
Not so fast.
However, there's not much to be shooting at, unfortunately, but just as a rule of thumb.
Don't fret. I see you.
Yeah, so you guys are about to have another fight that's not a team fight.
you down?
I'm here. Keep fighting. Healing you.
So I like this spot right here where you can kind of go left and right. You got your cover. This is a good spot. This gives you good line of sight on just about everything. This spot right here is pretty good positioning. However, you might want to start sliding over to the right a little bit once the fight starts, assuming your team stays right there, because now you're kind of losing sight of them a little bit. But you might even be able to go far off to the left to regain some of that sight. Yeah, you could, but generally speaking, I like this spot. The Sojourn needs to stop taking so much damage, though. At least the Zen's got his orb on her now. So that sleep dart felt very... There was a lag in your decision making there. That was the right decision to do and you did it, but it took you way too long to think of that. That should have been like an immediate... Like when you're sitting here and you're waiting for the fight to start, like the fight's like starting right now, essentially. You've got a good opportunity to nade that Reinhardt, anti-heal him. And you kind of tried to, but you didn't get the distance on it. But then once you throw that nade, the Pharah is ulting, and she's very low. This is a very low Pharah ult. That's an easy anti, or not an anti, an easy sleep. You should have been sleeping that right now. And it takes you a second to do it. And that second, I mean, I guess it didn't really end up costing you too much, but that should have came out sooner. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that Pharah ult didn't do a little bit more work. The only reason I think it didn't is because they did it so low to the ground. They should have did that a little bit, they should have did it a lot higher up, but they maybe should have waited for their team to engage a little bit first, and then did the ult. I think that's why that didn't work out so well for them.
Taking care of you. Stand up straight.
Okay, so right here, everything you're doing right here is all fine.
Stand up straight.
Healing priority for the most part is pretty good. You're struggling with the Sojourn just a teeny bit. And because of that, see, the Bastion is kind of in a bad spot, but I'm noticing something here. You're basically solo healing. The Zen doesn't have his orb out again.
Stand up straight.
Okay, now he gets it out. So the second you see the Zen orb on your Sojourn, you should be trying to aim at the Bastion, and you're not doing that quite as quickly. But the other thing too is that Bastion's kind of out of line of sight. And that's poor positioning on his part, but yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, because you could have made an effort to go like right over there and get a line of sight on the Bastion, but you've got other people to heal too, so it's like, I don't know if that would have paid off or not. It's hard. It's one of those things where it's like, you just don't know. But what I was gonna say, you've got such an open anti-heal target right here, but you spend it on a trancing Zen. These guys are fine. They're getting all the heals they'll ever need from the trance. You get Rhine, you get Lucio, and you get, who is that other character? I think it's Sojourn. I don't know. Who is this? Seedrax? Yeah, Sojourn, Lucio, and Rhine, assuming he doesn't block it, which I'm guessing he won't. You could get 3 characters anti-healed right there. Instead, you do that, and I don't know why you do that. Don't do that. Always be looking to anti-heal. Hey, even if the Rhine blocks the nade, so what?
Taking damage. You're powered up. Get in there.
I'm okay with that, because, yeah, you don't really want a nano ball. Bastion maybe could have been a better choice, but he's not quite there yet. But you wait for him to get back, wait for him to get into turret form, and then you nano could have maybe been a better choice there, but I don't hate this nano. But there might have been a better choice if you were a little bit more patient, maybe. So yeah, okay, so that nade there was kind of, throw it right there. They're not being shielded. And you would have gotten some people, and then your nano might have paid off a little bit more. But I like the idea that you're at least trying to anti somebody, but it was just a poor choice.
I won't let you fall.
30 seconds remaining.
Go for that health pack. Yep. Okay. So nobody's there to capitalize on that, which is fine. Get out. Get away from the Moira. Do not wake that Moira up. Your aim and your mechanics aren't good enough to duel the Moira. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Do not wake them up. Do not wake them up. Yeah. Okay, so you didn't wake them up, but you waited long enough for them to wake up, and now you're in the same circumstance again. Yeah, you killed yourself there. The second you slept them, get out. Because nobody that was going to capitalize on that, which is fine. They didn't need to. You saved yourself. You got your health pack. Just make space and get out. Get to your team so when she wakes up, you're protected. That's what you should have did there.
10 seconds remaining.
I go out on my turn.
You keep getting hung up in that spawn. I don't know why.
Go time. You're covered.
Okay, where is your team? Are they already dead? Good anti. That was good. Very good. Good spot to throw that at and everything. Very good. Get back to your old spot that you were originally at. Okay, good shot. Yeah, so isn't that crazy? You guys went basically to let me get to a spot where we can see it. Okay, you guys basically got you guys went to right here where you guys never had a full team fight until right there. And then you guys all defended it as a team together and they never moved it. And isn't that crazy? That's the value of dying as a team and coming back as a team, going in as a team and working as a team in Overwatch. You guys gave up the second point for free. You gave up half of the third point for free. And then you guys all fought as a team and they never moved it. Think about that. Long and hard every time you play this game, especially on a map like this. Always fight as a team. So, number one, your positioning. We covered that in detail as it went on, so I'm not going to elaborate too much on that. But specifically, when you guys gave up that first point, You staggered yourself. You could have maybe saved it with mechanics, but they're not there yet. So get back to your team any way you can, be it dying sooner or, you know, being hard to hit and getting back to your team. But however you do it, I don't know, but do it. Number 2 is your mechanics. Again, I don't know if this is a console VOD or if this is PC. I don't think that was specified to me. If it is, I didn't take a note of it. But it looked like you're playing on a controller. And again, if you're on PC, do not do that. I think the only character, in all honesty, that you could play on a controller on a PC is Mercy. And even then, I wouldn't advise doing that. So if you're on a computer, get on the keyboard and mouse. If you're not comfortable with it, get comfortable with it. No excuse. If you are on a console, well then obviously you got no choice. But at least as far as I know, I haven't played Overwatch on a console, but I don't think you have a choice on that. But if you are on a console, you got to work on your mechanics to some extent. I don't know if you can make like the sensitivity a little bit quicker and then get more comfortable on that. I would recommend not playing Ana in competitive until your aim gets better. Your aim is not up to competitive par, in my opinion. It needs to get a little bit more reactive, a little bit more quicker. And then the one thing I would say too with your mechanics, use your scope a little bit more. You might find just doing quick in and out scope shots might improve your aim a little bit. But yeah, your aim's got to get better if you're going to play Ana consistently. And then number 3 is your, I'm going to say nades. Look to anti at all times. Unless there's an emergency that you need to heal somebody on your team, and that's circumstantial. You'll know when those situations arise, but you can dictate fights very heavily by anti-healing the enemy team. It changes team fight dynamics to a point that not many other heroes can change a team dynamic fight like Ana can because of that ability. And we've seen multiple times that I pointed out that you wasted that ability, and that's a huge ability to waste. So those are the 3 major things you should be working on. And these are all very big things to be working on. But Ana is a good character to be trying to learn. If you're looking to seriously play support in ranked, you can definitely, once you get more comfortable on Ana, you can definitely control the narrative of a lot of team fights as Ana. She's a very powerful hero. She's pretty much been a meta support hero for, I don't know, at least 4 years, maybe even longer than that. And I don't see that going anywhere. Kiriko might change it a little bit, but I don't see her falling out of the meta too terribly. And even in this game, there wasn't a Kiriko anyway. So, I mean, Overwatch 1 rules apply in this case. You land an anti, they can't do anything about it. So, I hope that was helpful. I will say one thing though, the one thing that you did do pretty good is I liked your positioning a lot of the time, when you weren't staggering yourself like on the first point, like especially right here, this positioning was pretty good. I liked it. But yeah, work on your aiming, work on the sensitivity of the aiming, and your nades need to be, you need to change your mentality of how you're using those grenades. That's really the big thing. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, and feel free to comment on any questions, concerns, comments on this, and I'll see you guys on the next one.